Why? Right. Not that I want to take food off of Chris's table. Why are you lot who are in the stream watching the LOLLUJO 2 videos? Unless I guess you weren't in yesterday's stream. I don't really understand. It's all very confusing. I figured it was a whole separate group of people. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's you lot. What we should do a survey. I haven't done a subscriber survey for a long time because they want to experience the joy again. All caps. For all the people who aren't here now who'll see this on the LOLLUJO 2 tomorrow. Right, this is it, boys and girls. After weeks of experimentation, billions of pounds spent, today we find out definitively if you can buy trophies. Fingers crossed, or I'm going to look like a silly goose. I specifically do not watch LOLLUJO 2 so Chris doesn't get paid. That's the spirit. That's what I was hoping for from you all. That's that kind of can-do attitude will take you a long way. Did make me laugh when you almost missed a January window and said, I think it's time for a new save. I mean, yeah, we reach that point, don't we? It's always unfortunate when we reach that point midway through a season. I promise I am going to be a bit more engaged with the FM tonight, because we're hitting the business end of the season. But when it's a save that's several years in, we've done all the transfers, we've built the team. This is where I think I would benefit massively from an instant result button. If there is a skin, I know I don't really do skins, but if there's a skin out there that lets me have an instant result button that I can hide when I'm making YouTube videos, because the YouTube lot would not be able to cope with an instant result button. They would assume it was some kind of cheating. But if there was a way for me to, in situations like this, just instant result through from like October to March, then I think I'd benefit a lot from it. Right, who are we playing? Crystal Palace. Let's go beat them. Because the thing is, now we're hitting that stage of the season where we're going to start having most matches matter. We're trying to win the league. We're trying to win the Champions League. There's going to be lots of important games. When we already knew there was going to be no January transfers from the outset because we had no money left, the team was already playing well. We were winning every game and we were just literally getting through matches. We'd qualified through the Champions League. It's very hard to stay engaged with it if you have the attention span of a 9-year-old like I do. So yeah, this is my call to skin makers. I want one. Finally, after all these years, I want a skin. I ain't using one that, you know, everyone else has got a fancy one with their logo on. That's what I want. I'm not using just the generic one that the Herberts use. Reach out to me, skin makers. I want it to look pretty much exactly the same as normal FM. The only exception being I have an instant result button. I don't want everything else to change. I just want the instant result button. I don't have to do it. That's my exercise, basically, clicking the mouse. I don't mind it. I don't need everything on one screen. Why have Man United on the channel? What channel are Arsenal on? I had the wrong channel on. There we go. Goodness me. Oh, my word. Can we have an offer trial to all and scout all button 2? Yeah, add that on. I want to be able to scout everyone off the next gen, and offer trials to everyone off the Director of Football recommendations. That's what a couple of little tweaks. And I am never going to learn what all those little icons mean. I don't need to. I cannot imagine a scenario where I need to learn what all those little icons are. Just use the words, make me click on a different tab and read words. I'm fine with that. That's fine. I don't need icons. If someone tries to fiddle with the game, she goes, oh, yeah, can you have a skin that has a built-in timer? We could call it the network game skin and make Zealand use it for the network game. Every screen has a timer. And he's not allowed to undo a change he's already done. So if he goes in there, moves his fullbacks forward, he can't. It'll use up one of his stoppages that he's allowed if he then tries to move them back again. Because it used to drive me crazy when we had the multi-stream on and we were waiting to see what Zealand was doing. And I'd go over to Zealand's stream to see what he was up to. And I'd have to sit there and watch him move. He doesn't have it saved as a separate tactic. Watch him drag his two fullbacks forward to wing back, then click 3 or 4 other things, turn a few other things on or off, and then before he clicks continue, drop the fullbacks back again. And he did it every game. And it's like, what on earth are you doing? But that should count as a stoppage. He's winding you all up, surely. Well, no, because we're not necessarily watching his stream. all he's doing is winding up the 1,000 people watching other people's streams, watching us sit there going, well, there's not a lot we can do because we're waiting for Zealand's match to end. He's winding up everyone watching the other 3 streams. Right, we're playing West Ham now. Let's beat them as well. Yes, Home is dead as dead can be. People voted with their feet last year. The episode 1 of Home from last year is my lowest viewed episode 1 in forever. It's very clear that people just don't care about Home anymore, so I can take the hint. I won't do it anymore. It's done. No, wouldn't get not interested in a fancy car, not interested in a fancy house. If I suddenly became really, really rich, I would travel a lot more and I'd buy even more tech and gadgets, but I'd still drive a Kia and I'd still live in this house because they're things I just don't care about. My house and my car, don't care. But I get some doors fixed. I mean, I can afford a microwave now, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm still looking for microwave recommendations, boys and girls. That's the key here. Buy a large camper van and then a house. Oh God, I would if I had 100 grand to just splurge on a silly toy right now, I would definitely buy a motorhome. I would love one. I watch so many van life videos. Yeah, that would be number 1. Would I do Wrestle Kingdom? I've said to Anna, when we go to Japan, we're going early January. I haven't explained why. It is something that's not, I mean, we can't afford to do it at the moment. It's something that's kind of on the cards. We're going to do America first, but she is well aware. There's a lot of things on my things to do before I'm 50 list. And going to Japan in January is definitely one of them. Life's too short to worry about money and nonsense. I'll just stick it on a credit card if I have to. It's getting done. I've watched several videos on the vending machine ferry in Japan. One of the hardest things as a financial advisor is stopping people being afraid of money. Afraid of spending it, afraid of losing it, afraid of borrowing it. So many people are just terrified of money because they don't really understand how it works. Right, let's do the Champions League draw. Paolo Maldini. When did he have his hair cut off? He doesn't count as Paolo Maldini with short hair. That's not acceptable. I don't really recognise this as the draw. This is not okay. Who are we playing then? Leipzig. Easy. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to beat them. Will the European Super League ever happen, in my opinion? Yeah, almost certainly. There's too much money on the line. I would suggest it won't be called the European Super League, though. It will be called the Super League so that Saudi Arabia can be in it. And they'll probably fund it. Another lesson learnt from the back end of FM23. If I put the main YouTube save on Twitch, did I see Zealand copied my stream save from last year starting unemployed? I mean, I am horrified because I am the only person in history who'd ever done that before as well. I should probably sue him. I mean, there'll still be lower league football within England that people who care about that kind of thing can carry on watching, but the vast majority of viewers who they make the money off will love it. So pretty much any question like that you could think of to ask, the answer will be what I would do in real life. So if I'm happy in the job that I'm in, I'm probably not going to look for a new one. But if I get an offer, then I might consider it. If I'm unhappy in the job that I'm in, then I'll probably look around to see what other things are available. Thoughts on a UK-wide league incorporating England, Scotland, Northern Ireland as Wales, opposed to a Super League? I mean, why would we want to clog up our non-league with all those teams? Because realistically, that's where they'd all go. You might let Rangers and Celtic into League One. Everyone else from the SPL... In fact, not even everyone else goes into the National League, but most of them go below National League North and South. Where are you putting all those Welsh teams? They're just going to be in a regionalised Tier 8 league. They might as well stay where they are. Kev's always right, even when he's wrong. I mean, I suppose that would be the theory. It's never come up because obviously I've never been wrong. I just don't have any time for nonsense. I'm here to entertain and have a fun time. We're not here for nonsense. We don't need shenanigans. Right, we're playing Leipzig. This is actually quite important. Topped out at 4,800 back in January, February time. We would have hit 5,000, but I was sick, wasn't I? There's now about 5 million players who play Football Manager, which is treble what it was 3 years ago. So going back 3 or 4 years, there was a million. I remember in the time I've been a content creator, so within the last 7 or 8 years, I remember them celebrating getting to 1 million active players for the first time, or 1 million players, 1 million copies sold. So it's within the last 5 or 6 years that they've done 1 million in a year for the first time. Whereas how many copies of EAFC? Oh, in fact, FIFA 21 has come straight up on here. So FIFA 21, there were 25 million copies sold. So even now that Football Manager has got 5 times the player base it had 5 years ago, FIFA still has 5 times the player base that Football Manager has now. So that's why it's a much bigger game. Football Manager is a niche game. It's less niche than it was, but it's still a niche game. Chris, thank you very much for 8 months. Wonder what the figures were back in the good old days of CM1. I mean, when they said they'd hit 1 million, it was very much they'd hit 1 million for the first time. It will look like FIFA 15. I mean, I really don't think it will. It will look like Football Manager. As I remember, someone brought out a database which removed the new format for the European competitions. Like I say, I don't know. I don't pay much attention to this kind of stuff. I'm not big into the modding side of things. This was the first year I've modded the game. I was surprised at how easy it was. I mean, yeah, it is seriously the easiest game out there to mod. If you want all the right kits and faces and badges, you literally download a folder and drag it into a folder in your documents that's labeled graphics. They may as well have it as an option in the menu. Click here to get all of the unlicensed stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if that changed. No. He specifically did a tweet about why some of the stuff wasn't in there that had been promised. There's a different tweet that might have been deleted. We're going to get knocked out of the Champions League here, boys and girls. This is not okay. We probably need to throw all of the footballers on. Come on, do a football, gentlemen. Oh, here he is. That's what I'm talking about. And I would suggest the Premier League are quite keen to control their brand. Oh, Caicedo with the 91st minute winner, hopefully. 92nd minute winner. Right, we're into the semi-final. Frank Lampard is doing the draw, so hopefully he knows to fix it. Not that there's any way to fix it, really. We are... Oh, my word. We're playing against 3 teams. They've got to send 3 teams against us to try and topple us, and they still won't. Right. Champions League draw. Short-haired Paolo Maldini again. I'm still not comfortable with it. All right. Oh, okay. Well, that makes things a little trickier. Although we are dominating the Premier League, so we should still be fine. To be fair, quarterfinal of the Champions League, they're all tough games apart from Spurs. So we were bound to get a difficult draw. Let's get the semi-final draw as well. So Arsenal or Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain or Bayern. And then Liverpool or Spurs versus Milan or Real Madrid. We're going to win that. Easy. Consider it done, boys and girls. I mean, if we have to push everything back a day, then we have to push everything back a day. It's not a big deal. It's not as if we're against the clock to get things done on certain days. The schedule I had in mind was only a target to aim for. If anything, if we have to take the first hour of tomorrow to finish Chelsea off, And then that allows me to have half of tomorrow night's stream and all Sunday night to do Brighton properly. That might be for the best anyway. And then we start the new save on Monday. Yamala's just won the next gen. What a good boy. Endrick finished 9th. Lovely old stuff. Who's the English Haaland? Was there an English Haaland on the list? The English Haaland. I mean, these things, you always take them with a pinch of salt. Because is there even an English player in the top 10? This badge pack I've got is annoying because it takes the flag away and replaces it with a badge, which is harder to pick out. There's no way they're calling him the English Haaland. Is he the English Haaland? Van Persie's kid? I imagine that's who they mean when they're describing the English Haaland. I feel like, in reality, that's probably not how the media would describe Shaquille Van Persie. Is he actually declared English? Or is that an FM thing? And he was born in 2006. So if he lived if he was born in London and lived the first 9 years of his life here, I can imagine he's probably got an English passport as well, a British passport as well. If he didn't have one already because of the EU stuff, he probably did after Brexit, just for that opportunity to have his freedom of movement stuff. Yeah, he's probably got a British accent. Right, it's Champions League quarter-final o'clock. We need to focus in here because we'd quite like to win this thing. And Kunku's singing Haaland's praises. How's he getting on at Real Madrid? Quite well. He's quite good. He is quite good. I'm American. I still don't know what Balogun did. 2 weird short-term decisions in a row. Threw his toys out of the pram that he wasn't going to be guaranteed to be starting striker at Arsenal. And then threw his toys out of the pram when he wasn't guaranteed to be England's starting striker. Yeah, I mean, if he's got the talent to back it up, then he wins. But I would still argue, if he's as good as he thinks he is, he'd have been better served long-term playing for England than America. I guess it depends on if the soccer explosion continues in America. If he went on to score 50 goals for England, I feel like that would earn him more money than getting 50 goals for the US. They just happen to be the best players on FM and not the real world where people go wrong. Exactly. I know who works well in FM. I'll give you a top 10 list of players you can't really go wrong with in Football Manager, who you wouldn't necessarily want to sign in real life. But you give me a front three of Abraham, Calvert-Lewin and Havertz, and I'm winning the Champions League 5 years in a row. I've just sold Edwards to Liverpool for 32 million after playing 1 season for Southampton. I've not managed Posh on FM24, so I don't know how good he is this year. It is why Lewandowski's bad in FM. It's why people never got a tune out of Messi in the Streamer Showdown. I mean, I would, in a Streamer Showdown draft, I would take Kai Havertz 100 times out of 100 ahead of Lionel Messi. Every single time I'd go Havertz. Wouldn't even have to think about it. If they were my 2 choices, there's no decision to make. You have to use Messi properly in FM. Yeah, but the problem is you have to play to get the best. There are ways you can get the best out of Messi, but they're not the best systems to use in FM. You won't win the Streamer Showdown getting the best out of Messi. Right, we 4-0 up from the first leg. Let's go beat them. Compared to at the space, I think it was quite short. Yeah, but remember, Jack doesn't start Part to Prem until like January, does he? Because he likes to play on a beginner's database. He likes that nice, easy start of playing in the Deep Non-League. Get a few back-to-back promotions under his belt. Just to give him that head start. Yes, proceed with tactical changes, boys and girls. Why wouldn't we? We're into the Champions League semi-final, which is jolly good. Hopefully we can wrap up the league title in the next match, so at least we have the Premier League one tonight, and then we can just focus on winning the Champions League tomorrow. So this stream wasn't the end after all. False advertising. Kev does clickbait. What a monster. What a monster. Never done clickbait before. I don't know how I feel about it. You know me. Hate clickbait. Right. Youth prospects. I mean, what a front four. Talk about youth prospects, that front four with De Bruyne and a World Cup winner supporting them from behind. 1,000-year experiment. And just now, my laptop started revving up like crazy just with the thought. I mean, FM24 is surprisingly quick to process. Last year, it took me until early December to do 1,000 years in the future. I know I've got a better PC this year, but that is taking 10 days compared to 2 months. That you can't put all that down to having a better PC. My PC's not that much better than the one I had last year. You have to keep some mystery. I have to make sure you all watch the stream, don't I? And there is the cherry on top of the cake. They're not going to sack him. They're not going to sack him till they're back in Manchester, at least. What are they going to do? Sack him and leave him in Denmark? That'd be amazing. You ain't coming back on the plane. Oh, we might not be winning the league tonight because we were down to 10 men. But yeah, we are very much on high alert waiting for it. We've got a number of what if scenarios on our little schedule. Because I want to make the whole what should have done thing a series that we started with Sheffield United, but it will have its companion series, what so-and-so should do. So if a big club like Man United lose their manager, that's 2 videos. We have what Erik ten Hag should have done, where we play on your world mode and redo the summer and do the season properly. Imagine if Harry Maguire had just become the hero. But then when they appoint the new manager, we get what the new manager should do as another video, where we get one of those real date mods off of FM Scout or wherever and pick up from that point and do what the new manager should do. So we get 2 videos out of it. Oh yeah, I need an instant result button for sure. It would make those videos so much easier. Do you prefer doing a save? As an actual save, much prefer Nominee to Legend. But I did really enjoy... Are we down to 9 men here? I did really enjoy making the Sheffield United and the Ajax ones. It's just a little bit different from the kind of stuff I normally do. Like I say, it was different being able to play Football Manager without performing the whole time. And Manchester United are a mess. Can I point out we're 2-0 up and about to win the league and we've only got 9 men left on the pitch? And we've had to change it. And 2 red cards and our goalkeeper's got off injured. And we're still 2-0 up because we're that good. Oh, we've used all our stoppages. That's annoying. Oh, Man United. What are they like, eh? Right, well, hopefully we can get a trophy lift here, because this is us winning the league, isn't it? We see Man United get thumped, and then we get to win the league immediately after. What a wonderful thing. Gun Priest, thank you very much for 2 months. And there we go. We actually get a trophy lift. I think this is my first league title trophy lift I've seen in FM24, because they keep glitching. But here we have an actual trophy lift. Huzzah! Where have our kits gone? Were we wearing this kit in this match? I thought we were wearing the blue one. Probably not, because we were away at Everton. Here we go. Look at me, barrel-chested Kev. Anyone who's met me in real life knows I'm barrel-chested. I'm twice as wide as that man next to me. There is a lot of Kev on that screen. I mean, I should do... Barrel-chest Kev should do the cartwheel. What a time to be alive. Look at us go. Here we go. Who's cartwheeling? Who's doing it? Don't get injured. Hey! Is that De Bruyne doing the cartwheel? Oh, God, I hope it is. That would be amazing. Oh, my word. Right, boys and girls, that is your lot for tonight. The plan for tomorrow night... Oh, wow. Costa's out for 2 or 3 weeks. That's not ideal. The plan for tomorrow night is we complete our quadruple and win the Champions League and the FA Cup as well. The FA Cup final is before the league season ends, which is a bit weird.